Got the new project in the shop, going to be putting the Superduty axle into this truck using those brackets. So here's a bit of a walk around of our next project. 74 F250, 2-wheel drive, plenty of patina, a few dents, dings, missing a tailgate. But otherwise a solid truck. Perfect for what we're going to do, just use it as a test bed to get some Superduty axles underneath one of these with brackets and stuff I design. It has a 360 under the hood. No clue if it turns over. It's been robbed of a few parts. It did come from the high desert, so not too much cancer. As you can see, just some of this was actually just bare metal. It's just the paint's gone away, but since it's from the high desert, it actually didn't rust too bad, just bare metal in places. So interior leaves plenty of room for improvement. We'll be ditching the seat, redoing the dash, steering wheel. Not sure if we're going to be doing Superduty seats or OBS seats, but definitely something different on that. And just redo the whole thing. Door shut's really good. I do have a 351 Windsor, or 5.8 out of a 95, and a ZF5 speed we're going to be putting in this. And we'll start off with a factory height, high boy 4 inches. See what we got, maybe clear 37s. And after beating on it for a while like that, plan on lifting up 10 inches, putting 42s on it. So a quick rundown of what we're going to be doing. These axles are out of a 2008 Ford F250. They have the longer leaf springs for a better ride, and it's a coil front suspension, Dana 60, Sterling 10.5 in the rear. And then, so these are the brackets we're going to be using. I designed them myself, kind of like what I did with the Ranger project. I did it all in CAD. I scanned a factory Ford truck frame, and I was able to utilize factory Ford Superduty CAD models to incorporate everything and mesh it together. So I got all the dimensions as most accurate as possible. What we have here on the bottom are the rear leaf spring mounts. These here are the front mount hanger for the leaf springs, and they're positioned about 4 inches down. It give you about what they call a high boy 4-inch lift would look like, all said and done. So those are the front hangers. They're moved forward about 8 to 10 inches to compensate for the longer leaf spring. Rear hangers, and these here are got the front shock towers and then the radius arm brackets there. And this isn't everything. We still got to do some more. These are all prototypes, so there's going to be some changes and stuff like that. But they're not all the brackets. We still got to make a bracket for the drag link and also for the steering box, because that's all getting incorporated. These brackets here have shock mounts to the front and also bump stops. Still need to do brackets for the sway bar, brake lines, little things. For the rear, still need to do shock mounts for that, sway bar, which I don't think this axle has sway bars, but we'll still work at it, and also overload perches so we can actually use this for towing stuff. So that's kind of a rundown of what's kind of be going into this. There's going to be more coming along. There's a Hydro Boost brake booster right there out of a Superduty. Going to be swapping that into here, doing brackets for that, because that all kind of matches up well for the front and rear disc brakes on the Superduty axles. Going to be doing a hydraulic clutch conversion, brackets for that, transmission, transfer case brackets. This is a 2-wheel drive truck. Swapping it to 4-wheel drive, there's a lot more to go into it. So to start with, we're going to take this whole truck down to the bare frame. We're going to be doing an engine swap and transmission and setting everything up, so this is going to be easier having the whole body off the frame. Got to cut brackets off and everything like that. So that's going to be what we first start with. Going to be probably first thing is all the spare parts I collect in the back. We'll be getting to this stuff later, but pretty much we have EFI tanks, some exhaust for the engine I'm using, just some random bits and pieces to make this kind of go together that I just kind of toss in the back. So we're going to take that out, put that on a pallet, working on bolting the bed. We'll get the hood off, front clip off, and then finally get the cab off, and we'll have a bare frame. We'll still leave the engine and transmission in there because we'll be using that to mock up position for the new transmission crossmember. Anyway, we'll get to that, so we'll probably do a time lapse and just kind of see how this all goes. So as you can see behind me, we got the truck all stripped down. Next step is pressure washer, but it's below freezing outside, so need to wait for it to warm up a little bit next couple of days so we can get the pressure washer hooked up and clean off all this muck. So that's going to be it for this video. Next one, we're going to get this all cleaned up and then start taking the suspension out, cutting the brackets off, and work on getting these on there. go ahead and subscribe to the channel and follow along so you can get more updates on the build, and comment down below. Let me know what you think.